Here we go. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome once again to another community call here with the Bindplane team. We're wrapping up the year with style. I'm gonna have to say that. Last one for 2025. First and foremost, thank you so much for being part of our community. This last year has been awesome. All of the feedback we've gotten and the growth we've seen with all of you in the community makes me super proud to be helping out, and of course everybody in our team is blown away by your support and by your feedback this whole year. So just starting off with that, and yeah, as always, for the community calls, I'm Adnan. I'm your host for today. I do all things DevRel here at Bindplane, and I do have Dylan and Cole from the engineering team with me today. So we're going to have some proper engineers do some proper walkthroughs. Cole specifically built the new notifications UI, and Dylan built the new grid layouts, so the new display options we have in Bindplane. We're super hyped to show you how that works. And yeah, first let's do some intros. So let me hand over the mic to Cole first, and yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning all. My name is Cole. I'm an engineer here at Bindplane. I've been here with the company for about a year and a half almost. And I'm a Grand Rapids native to the west side of Michigan and here to show off some new notifications in Bindplane.
Nice.
Everyone, I'm Dylan. I've been an engineer here at Bindplane for just about 6 months now, so still a little new. I'm also based out of Grand Rapids here with Cole, and excited to give you some demos today.
Nice. Yeah, thanks guys for joining. Yeah, this is as excited as it gets for people from Michigan and Eastern Europe. Like, this is our base happiness. We don't really get more. But yeah, yeah. As always, let's just do a quick agenda. As you know, we've done for the last year. We have 4 topics, and we tend to fit this into 30 minutes. We're going to try even less because we do want to be respectful of your time. We'll of course start with the basic Bindplane 101 for all of the new community members out there, so you can get a proper rundown of how everything works, how Bindplane fits into the telemetry pipeline picture. Then we're going to jump into some hot topics for December, specifically all of the new things we did since KubeCon in Atlanta. And then of course, product updates as always, and then community shoutouts as always as well. First, what is Bindplane? It is a OpenTelemetry native telemetry pipeline. So what it does, it collects, processes, and exports telemetry from any source to any destinations. That's the gist of it. That's the root of the product. But what makes it special is that we provide enterprise scale collector management. So it's quite literally a control plane to manage and run and basically do whatever you want with millions of collectors. So if you have 100,000 collectors, if you have one, doesn't matter. We help you run that with ease in high availability. And we've seen customers of ours get to 50% cost reduction just because of what we have as visual routing and processing configs. So it's super easy to set up intricate routing, intricate configs with really complicated processing and data transformations, filters, reductions, etc., just by using the visual processing actually, and the visual configs that we provide. What would that mean for the architecture specifically? Well, Bindplane really just manages and configures OTel collectors via OpAmp, which is the Open Agent Management Protocol, also a new project within OpenTelemetry. So Bindplane is the control plane, so it's technically not required for any telemetry flow. We just manage the collectors that you already have. So it's your pipeline, right? And then of course you can use the Bindplane collector, so the Bindplane distro for OpenTelemetry, or you can use whatever custom collector you have, as long as it has OpAmp enabled, either via the supervisor or just an OpAmp extension, right? And of course, because we want to make it as easy as possible for you to run agents, specifically collectors or OTel collectors, as either in agent mode or gateway mode, there's a lot of hand-holding going on within Bindplane that helps you set up exactly what you need for exactly what infrastructure you have. Of course, it's either cloud or self-hosted, whatever you really prefer, and of course 100% vendor agnostic. Now, the reason for it being 100% vendor agnostic is because it's a control plane. So the pipeline itself, you're not locking yourself into the pipeline. The control plane is just managing your pipeline. Your pipeline are your collectors. So if you look at the middle part here that says your network or your customer network, that's essentially just your collectors, either the Bindplane collector or whatever custom OTIL collector you've built for yourself with op-amp support. And how it works is that it's literally connected to the control plane via this op-amp protocol using WebSockets, but it's inside out. So the collectors open up a WebSocket to the control plane, either via 443 if you're using cloud or 3001 if you're using self-hosted Bindplane, and then that stays open. So there's no intricate firewalls you need to set up. There's not really a lot of complicated legwork you need to set up to actually get started. And of course, as I said, one important part is just because Bindplane is not part of your data plane, it's just part of the control plane. So even if you take Bindplane away, you take the control plane away, your pipeline and all of your collectors, they will still work. And that's, I think, the core of why Bindplane is so powerful. And yeah, with that 101 out of the way, I want to hand it over back to Cole to tell us what new things we've done since KubeCon in Atlanta.
Thank you, Adnan. Yeah, we have a few new features that we've gotten into Bindplane recently that we want to show off today. So Bindplane now has notifications, first of all. These will allow you to get alerted about some important events and different things across your Bindplane configurations and your project metrics. We also have some new display options to get even more value out of your configurations. And we have some keyboard shortcuts to help you navigate throughout the app. So without further ado, let's take a look at these new features in a few demos. All right, here you can see my screen. I'm logged into Bindplane. And now you'll notice on every page throughout Bindplane, there's this new little notifications bell in the top right. It'll have this little blue dot next to it, similar to other notification interfaces you've probably used before, if you have some unread notifications. And clicking on it will bring up this little drop down where you can see all of your recent unread notifications. And this will allow you to view and see any alerts that you need to be alerted about. And these are the first basic metrics that we've generated notifications for each project within Bindplane. For example, like the number of aired agents you have, pending rollouts, outdated agents, little things that you might not be able to keep track of yourself that would help to take some action about and help expose through the UI. So if we click on this Go to Inbox button, it brings us to the new Notifications Inbox page. This is where you can see all notifications, whether they're read or unread, as well as using these checkboxes here, multiple select things, and manage their read status through these buttons as here. So I can mark them as read. I can mark them all as unread. I can use these little two buttons on the right here to mark an individual notification as read or unread, as well as this exciting part, which is a link that is corresponding to every notification. So for example, for my aired agents notification, this link, when I click it, is going to bring me straight to my agents table, showing me my one aired agent in my project. And that will get you right to where you need to be to help figure out what's erroring, what's going wrong, and fix what's wrong with your agent. Similarly, if I want to look at my aired rollouts, I can click this link. Also in the dropdown, there's a link and mark as read button, same as the inbox table. And that will bring me now to my configurations page and show me just the two configurations that are aired. And as you would expect, I can look at my outdated agents. I have 14,000 outdated agents. If I go back and click on this notification, brings me to the agents table, shows me all 14,000 of my agents, lets me select them and upgrade them so I'm running the latest version of the Bindplane collector. And yeah, that's a very basic.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So for right now, what are the options we have right now in the notification? So it's just it's specifically focused around the agents and rollouts, right?
Correct. Yeah. This feature is in its infancy. We've just created these four basic notification types that we'll generate every day on a daily basis to notify you of these few metrics that you might need to take care of. we definitely plan on expanding this to multiple other things, like how many days till your license expires, or how much usage you're over your limit, or even in the future, we have some pipeline intelligence recommendations coming through the pipeline that will let you know, hey, we think you should do this to your config to help improve efficiency or to improve security. Things like that are going to be how we expand this in the future, and we're really excited to bring that to Bindplane.
Nice, nice, really, really cool. For so one other thing that I think is really cool here is that we will eventually have the option to send out either a webhook notification as well, or that might be something that we've seen both our customers and community members ask about. So
yes, absolutely. We definitely realize it'll be very helpful to get emails or to be able to subscribe to a feed somehow to see these notifications, to get alerted about all these sorts of events. As well as we can send global notifications to all of Bindplane if we have like a maintenance window or if there's an outage with one of our partner services. Stuff like that will also be super useful for communicating to our customers.
Really, really cool. Really, really nice. Yeah, I'm really hyped about this. Like, this is, especially if you have thousands of collectors running, that just, how do you know if they're outdated? How do you know if you accidentally forgot rolling out to one of those collectors, right? It's just a bit of a headache figuring out and managing all of that if you have that scale. Yeah, really, really nice. Thanks, Cole, for the really super in-depth explanation of not just what we have released right now for notifications, but also what we have in store for the next couple of months. So really, really cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's pop over back to the product updates really quickly. And we're going to get a quick rundown by Dylan and another demo if you are ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can start out with the demo first, if you'd like.
For sure.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to be going over the new keyboard shortcuts as well as the new display options and grid rendering that we have in Bindplane. So to start off, anywhere in Bindplane, you can now press the K key and it will pop up this dialog that shows all of the keyboard shortcuts throughout the system. You'll see this top section here is for global navigation. These will work on any page. And then you'll also see page-specific drop-downs here with the keyboard shortcuts. So I can press things like A to go to the agents page, C to go to the configurations page, or L to the library page. Pretty easy to remember there. All pages, you can tap / to begin searching for something. And we plan to expand on these moving forward. So love to hear your guys' feedback there. Next up, I'm going to jump over to a configuration. Let me get this one. So as telemetry continues to grow, our pipelines become more and more complex. You can see here, this pipeline has lines going all over the place. And this is simple compared to some of the users that use Bindplane. So what we've been working on is a new algorithm to rearrange these nodes and edges to make this easier for you to visualize. You'll be able to find that down here at this settings cog in display options. So when you click this, you'll see this new dropdown for layout algorithm. It's set to grid. This is our default view. This is what you've been seeing in the past. But there's now a new ELK option that's in beta. And so if we were to select this, you'll see in the background, it changes. And this configuration is much easier to read and visualize and understand what is going on. This saves on a per user, per configuration level. So if you change it, you don't have to worry about overriding other people's preferences. And if some configurations you still like the old view better, you can leave that as well. That is all I had for the display options.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I mean, especially if you have gateways with 5, 6 or more destinations, it just gets really confusing to figure out what's happening. I think this will definitely help a lot to just make it more, so I'm gonna say, easier on your sanity. I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's a really cool update. Yeah, let's jump back into the product updates and
Yeah.
go ahead.
So a few additional product updates here. Blueprints, been a long time coming. They're now generally available, so you can go ahead and try them out. We have 2 new sources that you can use as well, the PCAP and macOS Unified Logging. Shout out to Caleb for the macOS Unified Logging, one of our developers at Bindplane. He worked really hard on getting that one across the line. And then lastly, if you've been planning on upgrading to the growth plan or a little hesitant, we now have a 30-day free trial. So you can try that out before actually deciding to add a card.
Awesome. Yeah, and as always, let's wrap things up with some community updates as well. Yeah, the Bindplane team was at the KubeCon+CloudNativeCon North America this year in Atlanta. So it was just last month. We were a silver sponsor, and yeah, this is a nice little picture. Actually, my favorite picture of the team there at the event. We had an amazing time, and super happy for all of the open telemetry discussions we had with everybody there. Shout out to everybody that actually talked to us at the booth. It's really nice to see such positive feedback from the community for all of the things that we've built so far. And yeah, we're actually really hyped to see you in Amsterdam for KubeCon Europe in March. So that's coming up actually pretty quickly in a couple of months. Also, on the topic of KubeCon, we do have a OpenTelemetry recap blog post for you to check out. If you didn't have the time or couldn't go to KubeCon in Atlanta, you can read up on our favorite OTel things that we saw and we heard at the presentations and generally around the KubeCon floor. We also did a little interview session with key contributors to the OpenTelemetry project as well. Also, these are all both linkable, so you can jump in and open the slide deck that we share with you and just access them that way if you don't want the hassle. Also, keeping on the OTel topic, Keith from the team, he got a blog post published in the official OpenTelemetry blog, and that's actually I'm personally super proud of him. I'm super happy for him to get that, because that's just a really big deal. But also it's just such a cool thing because he was the one that actually contributed the Unroll processor into the OTel collector contrib, and then also writing about it and explaining the process of that contribution and getting that published is just, I think that's just an awesome thing to get for him, and such a, I'm gonna say, a win for a small team like ours. Yeah, on community shout outs as well from the Google Cloud security community. Craig from our team did a hands-on webinar with the Google folks, where they were specifically demoing use cases with Bindplane, where they're migrating away from the SecOps forwarder. So officially, as from I think it was a month and a half ago, or maybe even 2 months ago, Bindplane is officially the ingestion pipeline for SecOps. So they're deprecating the forwarder as of January of 27. It's going to be absolutely fully deprecated, but they're already starting now. So users get roughly a year to migrate over to Bindplane. So you can also obviously check that on YouTube, or you could just jump in tomorrow, because we're going to do a hands-on workshop where we're going to get Craig and Nick from our team to do some demos. So specifically, we're going to do a full-on migration demo. We're going to talk about collecting Windows event logs. We're going to talk about integrating with Google SecOps. And then Nick is going to do a cherry on top, where we're going to actually show the migration from a legacy forwarder to Bindplane, how to build processors, just because the act of data transformation, or doing any type of data transformation, is so hard with the forwarder, with the legacy forwarder. We just want to show you, or any new users, how fast you can get that going with Bindplane. yeah, we're super excited for this one, and yeah, join us tomorrow, and hope to see all of you there. And with that, I think we are at 20 minutes. Perfect. We have a little slot for questions that we can talk about specifically. Let me see. Yes, we have a question from Michael, like that. So we specifically tend to use both the word collector and agent as the same thing, just because everybody has been using the word agent for so long. It can be confusing at points or at times, but just know that if we say agent or collector, we generally mean the same thing. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. So Bindplane is a control plane for OTel collectors to run, manage, push out configs, do basically anything you want with them. Cool. With that, just a quick recap before we say goodbye. What's new? We got notifications, display options, keyboard shortcuts. We're going to talk about pipeline intelligence. It's in early alpha, so we're going to talk about that more next month. We have a growth plan on trial now, so 30-day trial. PCAP and macOS universal logging sources are available. If you want to see some KubeCon recaps, you can. It's all on the website and or YouTube. And of course, join us tomorrow for the hands-on workshop on the forwarder migration. Yeah, I think that's it from myself and both Dylan and Cole. See you in the next one. And of course, Happy New Year. See you in January.